what happens with celebrities is, one, they want to look cool. They don't want to look lame. They don't want to be the first person to the party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're already making so much money, they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Which is why someone like Bad Baby can leapfrog and make $50 million while y'all think it's just that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's going to be like little kids walking around here worth $100 million. And you be like, yo, what? Wait, how did he do that? Man, I got 10 million subscribers on Fanbase. What you talking about? What are you talking about? Like,
that's
y'all
right.
over here, y'all over here posting your content for free? For views and likes to get people to just buy tickets to your show? I stream all my concerts on Fanbase. What are you talking about? Yeah.
All right, welcome to another edition of Social Proof Podcast. Dope people that do dope stuff on this show, and people who have real receipts. You've got receipts. You've had receipts for a long time, too.
A little bit.
We got Isaac Hayes III in the building.
Sir.
Give him a round of applause, Isaac Hayes III.
Yeah!
I want to talk about, there's a lot I want to talk about, but can we just jump into Fanbase first?
Sure, if you want to, yeah.
You are fighting. You are in a fight. And I like how you fight against big platforms. I like how you position it. Like, yo, if Meek Mill was on Facebook instead of Fanbase instead of Instagram, he'd be making X amount of dollars. If Cardi B is leaving $100 million on the table but not be on Fanbase. I need to understand that, though.
Well, one, I don't think I'm in a fight. I'll tell you why. It's just my belief. When it comes to social media platforms are made relevant by the generation that make them relevant. Then that user base gets older, the platform dies out, and then young people migrate to a newer platform. So MySpace is dead, Facebook is senior citizen, Instagram's a middle-aged adult, TikTok's Snapchat's a millennial, TikTok's a centennial, and I built Fanbase for Generation Alpha. So the real ideology behind Fanbase is not for me. Anybody can use it, but the lifeblood and the longevity of the platform are going to be young people that are like 15 to like 25, 26, 27.
You built a social media platform. How many people do you have on the platform?
360,000.
360,000 people.
Yeah.
Where did the idea come from?
A young kid went viral from Memphis. His name is Ghetto Spider. He went viral for dancing in a Spider-Man costume at a GameStop. He was from Memphis. I shot him a message and just said, "Congrats, young Memphis." And he hit me back and basically frantically asked me to manage him. And I was like, I don't manage influencers, but I know what he wanted. He was trying to figure out, how do I capitalize on this moment? And I don't own Spider-Man. And if Marvel wants me to tell me to stop using Spider-Man, they can. And I was like, let me think about it and I'll get back to you. And I didn't talk to him for an entire year, because after that conversation, that came up with the idea for Fanbase. I said, we need a platform where people can subscribe to other people like Netflix, where like if you can sing, if you can cook, if you can tell people a better way to do their taxes or work out, that someone can subscribe directly to you for that content that you can create. And before Fanbase, no platform existed as a native application that allowed people to do that. Meaning there was Patreon, there was OnlyFans, but there was not a platform where you could take out your phone, click a button and use a face scan or a fingerprint and subscribe directly to another person. We invented that mechanism because Apple wouldn't even let us do it when we wanted to do it.
But now people steal it.
Of course.
Do you think people see you and take your ideas and implement it?
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Any evidence? Or is it just, this is the way of the world?
No, it's the way of the world. Nothing is proprietary, so you can't really defend a lot of things that you do create. You just have to execute better than the next person. You know, we joke all the time. Like, it was funny because when we announced that we changed the price of subscription from $3.99 to $4.99, and literally the next day, Instagram started rolling out subscription to like everybody that we knew. Everybody's like, I got subscriptions today. Like all of it, they know. But that's good for me because I'm a platform that I'm the little guy and you're worried about me. And I understand why platforms are worried about Fanbase because, again, they have a lifespan. They're dying. You know what I mean? There's no amount of innovation. I don't care what Mark Zuckerberg builds. I don't care what Instagram does. There's nothing that's going to get a 16-year-old to sign up and join Instagram today if their older sister or their mother or their grandmother's on Facebook. They're not coming. Kids always want to be on platforms where their parents are not.
Gotcha. Give me some history of other, because I was just telling you, you're one of the smartest people I follow, for sure. and I'm sure you've studied the waves of social media.
Mm-hmm.
Walk me through like timelines of why people leave, why things are created, and how long does it typically take for a platform to like catch on?
There is no timeline of a platform catching on. I would say, and ironically, Black culture contributes so much to social media and the creativity of social media. So I want to start with Black Planet.
Mm-hmm.
Black Planet was really the first social network. And if you think about it, if you look at the old UX UI of Black Planet, it's very similar to what MySpace built.
Hold on. How old are you? You don't know what Black Planet is, do you? I know, it's crazy. You
it was founded in like 2000, 2001. Omar was and this other dude, they founded it. But if you look at the UX UI of Black Planet,
UX UI, what's that mean?
User experience, user interface.
Yep.
So it looks very similar to the way that MySpace looked. And MySpace came around in like 2004 or 5.
Gotcha.
So we were always the inspiration for platforms like that. MySpace died out. And then people migrated to Facebook. And then
why did MySpace die out? Do you know?
I think,
do you have any theories?
I think probably just because they sold it. I think it was a cash out, like he cashed out and he was no longer running the platform. And those platforms, Facebook and MySpace, were pre-mobile. Instagram was the first mobile-first application. It started.
Oh, Twitter?
No, Twitter was desktop first.
Oh, so you're saying like they built it for that particular
for the mobile device.
Gotcha.
Instagram was the first, to build it for a mobile device.
Gotcha. Yeah. So Black Planet, MySpace. MySpace sees Black Planet and creates something just like it, more money.
Yeah.
And white.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there an
and centered around, but it was also the freedom to change your profile and be expressive and creative. I can move my top 8 around. I can put a clock on there, a song. It just gave the freedom of creativity, and people really like that.
Right. After MySpace was what? Facebook.
Yeah.
MySpace was before Facebook. Yeah, because it was around that same time, but Facebook started for colleges.
Yep.
Right. Were you on Facebook early on?
No.
How old are you?
I'm 47.
You weren't on Facebook? Oh, because you probably were in college.
I didn't go to college.
Gotcha. And then people transitioned to what?
Twitter.
Yeah. Where was Snapchat in this? After Twitter?
Snapchat was after Instagram.
Was it?
Yeah, Snapchat was like...
What was the one before Snapchat that was like Snapchat? It was something.
No, maybe Vine, but...
But
Vine was right above. But it's so funny. There were a lot of social media platforms. Now, the one thing the difference between, I'll say this, when it comes to adoption, like I'll be the first person to tell you that I hated on every social media platform that ever came out until I got the aha moment. And then I realized what the big play was, right? I hated on every single one. I got on MySpace, was like, this is stupid. Till I've seen my homeboys huddled around a desktop, like, you can have friends, girls on here. And I'm like, word? Right? And then Twitter was like, I got on Twitter, my former publicist, God rest her soul, she said, you need to get on this platform called Twitter. It was like 2007. And I got on there, nobody was there. It was empty.
Really?
Nobody was on, nobody. I would tweet and I would get no response, right? Nothing would happen. I said, this is stupid, right? And then Michael Jackson died in 2009, and everybody was talking about it on Twitter. And I said, oh, this is going to be the news before the news. So if someone gets to shooting, the people that are there will let people know what's going on via Twitter before the news can even get there.
Fact.
So it's instant news. Twitter, by the way, I think is the only immortal social network. I think it'll never go away because Twitter's defined. All the other social networks are defined by the generation that use them. Twitter's defined by what's happening right now. Who won the game? What's Elon Musk doing? Who got in trouble with who? What is China doing? It's right now.
Instagram's the same way.
No, Instagram has an audience. It's not defined by what's now. It's defined by the generation that make it relevant. Instagram's irrelevant right now. TikTok is more relevant than Instagram. Yeah,
that's real. That's real. So as an entrepreneur, you get this idea. I'm going to create my own social media platform.
Yeah.
Who was the first person on there?
Well, first, I never built an app before. Let's talk about that. I'm a songwriter, producer by trade. I've been producing and writing music and in the music industry. And I talked to some friends of mine that I met at the gathering spot in Atlanta. Justin Dawkins, Barry Gibbons, and Jewel Burks. They were like my tech senseis, right? I call them my tech senseis.
Did they build Fanbase?
No, they gave me, I went to them and said, how do you build an app? And they were like, you need this, you need this, you need this person, you have to have that and do that. And they said, you need some money, right? And so being a person in music, fortunately enough for me, I had kind of pivoted out of just producing for regular people and started putting my music on TV and film. I could advance myself royalties. So I advanced myself like $200,000 and spent that money to build the MVP of Fanbase.
Hold on. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Explain that.
What do you mean?
You started advancing yourself royalties. What the heck? I don't understand.
So instead of producing for artists, right, and getting on albums, I took all my instrumentals and gave them to a company, and they put them in reality shows and TV shows. So Real Housewives, Love and Hip Hop, Married to Medicine, Guy Code, E! News, TNT. Every time you're watching those shows in the background, those transitions, those are like, a lot of that is my music. It's been my music for like 7 or 8, 9 years. Right?
Really?
Yeah, and you get paid every time they play it. So you just go to the mailbox and get a check, you know. So I might go to the mailbox and get a check for like $25,000 for a quarter, you know, make, you know, stuff like that. So I said, I'll advance myself the money and just take a gamble. And that's usually what you call a friends and family round, where you get that first initial like pre-seed capital to build your prototype. I said, I can bypass that and not give up equity in the company and just foot the bill myself. And I'm a risk taker. I don't, you know.
Gotcha. So just I'm sorry, just in case, because I can make beats a little bit. So I could take some money. If you have revenue coming in, you can say, all right, give me $200,000 against my future earnings.
Right.
And they'll give it to you at a cost, I would imagine.
With BMI, no, it's just they just give it to you.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's dope. So was 200,000 the number?
Yeah. Well, I did 100. I did 100. And I think I did 100 one time, and then I went and got another 100.
So $200,000 to build the app.
Yeah.
What was the first step you took? Like, what was the first dollar that you had to pay to build a app?
So, first thing I did was the name Fanbase. I trademarked it. I didn't have anybody to build it. I said, let me see if I can trademark the name Fanbase specifically for downloadable social media software in the form of subscription, and it was available. And I trademarked it. Okay. Then that same attorney, my attorney, a good friend of mine, Drew, we've been working together for about 18 years in music. He's like, and this is a very significant part about the story, because Fanbase is a Black founded social media startup. And what I'm about to say is not to throw anybody under the bus, but initially my goal was to I want Black developers. I want to find, I had a Black mentor that was helping me. And in the process, that person kind of just disappeared. And then the first guy that I went to that was a Black developer was like, he's a little too busy to build it. And the second guys didn't have their stuff together. So my attorney Drew was like, I know this Argentinian guy who built a really cool website for me, and he has a company, and they build stuff for like the CDC and Taco Bell. He has a development company. You need to meet him. And he lives in Atlanta, but the team is in Argentina, so it'll cost way less. Like if you're trying to build what you're trying to build, it'll probably cost you $600,000. You can probably get it done for 125, 130. And me and Ramiro met, and it was magic. It was like, boom. Like when I'm talking about ready to go, it was like instantly chemistry, communication. It was like perfect. So I paid initially that company to develop Fanbase. Gotcha. Along the way, Ramiro and his business partners have been in business for about 10 or 12 years, and they approached me and they said, hey, we want to invest in Fanbase. Like this is the first thing we built that we feel like we ain't never heard nothing like this. This can go somewhere. And by talking to Jewel and Barry and Justin, you have to have a CTO, and people don't know that's a chief technology officer. So you have to have someone that can build what you say you want to build. So as much as I have a vision, someone has to execute that vision. There's a good book called Rocket Fuel that you should read. Andre 3000 told me to read it, but it talks about visionaries and integrators. And so I'm a visionary. I play that role. It's big ideas, close the deals. I'm that guy, but you have to have people to integrate. Yeah. And Ramiro is an integrator. So they take all the stuff that I say on my vision and make the buttons do what they're supposed to do masterfully.
Let me ask this question.
Yeah.
Why was your first thought, I want the whole team to be Black?
Because there is a disproportionate relationship between Black culture and technology. When I was reading the amount of money that companies like Facebook were making in ad revenue, $113 billion a year, $90 billion a year, right? And my point is like, has anybody ever thought the vehicle is Facebook, the vehicle is Instagram, the gasoline is youth and Black culture? Has anybody ever stopped and said, hey, like, let's take $6 billion and put it in the hood? You know what I mean? Like, let's put it in Chicago. Let's put it in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Really, let's create like creator centers and teach kids how to code and do all this, stuff like that. And it's like, no. And so the gift and the curse of being Black is we are the apex of innovation. There's nothing cooler than a Black person on the planet. I'm telling you, it's like
nothing cooler than a Black person. That's a fact.
It's nothing cooler than Black people. Like it's impossible to market and promote anything as being cool without the assistance of Black people. It can be sentimental, romantic, adventurous, exciting, cool. You need our dances, you need our slang, you need our fashion, you need something from us that says, yeah, that's what's next and that's what's cool. And that is mined and siphoned through advertising and through companies. That is the vibranium. It's like the way that when I say a car doesn't run without gasoline, right? Social media doesn't run without the petroleum of Black culture. And we give it away for free. We just let it flow. And what happens is it is mined and used and then monetized, but nobody in the hood gets it. Yeah. So the little girl that creates the Savage Challenge, she doesn't wind up with the brand deal, winds up being Charlie D'Amelio or Addison Rae or like that. They just take it and pump it up and let them be rich, but they want you to keep continuing to do that. And that is what I say is we have to turn our innovations into acquisitions, right? We innovate at a speed and a pace that we understand. We're creating industries. I got a chance to virtually meet Grandmaster Flash about 6 months ago. And I use this all the time when I talk to people. I said, the moment that you DJ'd on 2 turntables and a mixer, someone should have pulled you to the side and said, do not show a MF of what you just showed me. Let's go figure out how to build turntables and mixers. Because everybody that does this is going to need that. Wow. Fast forward, Pioneer, Techniques, Serato, they own the multi-billion-dollar DJ culture. They own it. Everybody should be DJing on the Flash 5000 right now. He should be sitting up in some mansion worth about $20 billion because he innovated something, but you don't make it an acquisition. We do that with cars. I actually saw somebody made a joke. Somebody made a joke about the Rolls Royce star ceiling. It's like, you can have the Rolls Royce star ceilings. I was like, yo, we was doing that at Impalas. Like in the 90s, like, dog. You know what I'm saying? So we innovate everything. It's like all the luxury cars are what we were doing in the hood. Yeah. My dad had a TV refrigerator in a car in a Cadillac in the 70s. Every car has that now. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we do. We just do fly shit, put Meek on the floor, just stupid. But
give me the edited version, please.
You know sorry. Please. Just stupid stuff. So, we just do wild, flamboyant stuff. Yeah. And then, but that is cool. Yeah. And people want those things. And so as a development team, I was like, we need to own it. Because a lot of times we have these, these things that we build, that we sell. Like prime example, and I'll use this. This is a very, very great thing that's happened with QC selling, right? Mm-hmm. They sold their label for like $250 million, right? But we also have to sometimes shoot a little higher to be like Tyler Perry, to own everything. There's a difference between, I think.
So are you saying they shouldn't have sold?
No, because the reason why I'm saying that they shouldn't have sold, because they can still take that revenue and do other things with it. Like everybody that's selling their catalog, they can do. It's a business. Businesses are built to be sold. Everyone will. But I'm the kind of person that wants to take that chance to own the entire infrastructure. People look at Tyler Perry like, okay, it's like this. When most Black filmmakers in Hollywood want to go make a movie, they have to walk around to a bunch of production companies and say, can I have money to make my movie? Can I have money to make my movie? Can I have money to make my movie? Tyler Perry goes in his back pocket. He writes a check for his movie, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Then he goes to his studio and films the whole project on the studio. And then he puts it out on the streaming service because he owns half of BET Plus and gets $100 million a year from that deal.
Does he own half of BET Plus?
He gets $100 million a deal, $100 million a year off that deal. Yeah, on BET Plus.
Tyler the Perry.
And he licenses his content. So he took his content from TBS to Lionsgate to OWN and now to BET. He just moves it around. He never sold it. He licensed it. And so people look at Tyler Perry like, well, where do we exploit him at? Where do we get in? Where do we make money? He owns it from, inception to distribution.
And they can't get in.
And we have to do that with social media. We have to. There's never been a Black founded social media startup that has achieved the level of success of an Instagram or a Facebook, but we have to do that because there's so much benefit. You're telling me right now, sitting in this room, all these people, you're telling me if Fanbase is making $113 billion a year, or when it is, that we're not going to give money to the hood. We're not
I would hope so, for sure. And because I know you and what you stand for, but not everybody. It's not like what Bob Johnson, right? BET.
No, that's not. He didn't make $115 billion. That was like $6 billion.
But still, whatever he did with the $6 billion,
yeah,
he would have done with $116 billion.
Right.
So I mean, it's kind of one of those cases.
$116 billion a year. It's a way to. It's multiple things that it does because it gives the opportunity to empower us via our culture. It's just like, lifting ourselves up.
My point is, whatever you're doing at whatever level of success you are doing it at, if you have more success, you'd be doing it at the same level. Like, for instance, I go to schools now, but I've been going to schools to talk to kids since I made my first $100,000 with my t-shirt brand when I actually netted like 25,000.
Right.
But I was still going to school. So the point is, I believe like once you build it, because you have a heart for people, and I believe you would come back and help the community, right?
And it's about disruption. If you're not pissing somebody off when you're building something, then you're not doing it right.
Right.
And I'm pissing Instagram and Twitter off.
Are you?
Yes, absolutely. They like, yeah, but I keep saying that's a good thing though. They're worried about me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just a little guy, because if it's like this, it's like if the culture and the technology are under one roof, where do we exploit? Where do we exploit? Where all the culture that all the revenue that Black culture brings into Facebook and brings into TikTok, on the back end of that, where's that money going?
To shareholders, squad,
shareholders or private owned investors that are riding around in yachts and saying, cool.
Right. And
again, I would ask anybody to go to Instagram off the $115 billion, they said, and say, hey, put like, why don't you put like $5 billion a year in the hood? And they're like, no, but keep doing those dances. Keep making them skits though. We need them skits though. Right.
And what makes Fanbase different?
So Fanbase is a democratized social network. It's separated because one, and I said this before, Instagram was really, really fun from like 2010 to 2014. And Instagram is the only social media platform that I knew what it was going to do the moment that I used it. I was one of the first million users on Instagram. I said, oh, this is about to kill the website. This is going to kill the blog.
Why'd you feel that?
Because I don't have to go to ESPN. I don't have to go to WorldStar. WorldStar's here. ESPN's here. My friends are here. Everything is here in a feed. It's convenience. It's mobile. It's in my hands. I have to sit. It's just right there. Yeah. So it just made everything. It's a container, right? Rather than a standalone store, which websites are. Websites are a standalone store.
Yeah.
Instagram was a mall. Like everything's in there.
Gotcha.
And so you stumble upon other content, other people, and I was like, this is incredible. Yeah. And so community at the core is really what the success of Instagram is. But again, it has like that timeline of what's going to make people valuable and relevant. And so Instagram was just something that I got, but you could go viral on Instagram and get like 2 million users in a day. You might be on WorldStar, like some fine teachers working out. Right. And then advertising came into play. And advertising changed everything. It turned everybody on the platform into a competitor against the platform. So everyone that is on social media right now is in competition, or the platform is in competition with you. And I prove that a million times. It's based off visibility. It's ad revenue, right?
Explain that.
Okay, so let's take the word follower and throw that out the window. All right, now let's take someone like Kim Kardashian that has 300 million followers, but let's turn that to viewers.
Okay.
Use the word viewer now. How many people watched the Super Bowl this year?
I don't know. A lot.
118 million.
118 million.
How much did they charge for a 30-second spot?
Trillions.
$7 million. So if Kim Kardashian could post a piece of content and instantly reach 320 million people, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, not like the Super Bowl's on 1 day a year for 4 hours, she could charge $21 million every time she posted a piece of content. And the brands would come directly to her and never spend a dime with Facebook and Instagram to ever run an ad. Like, here, Kim, here's $21 million. Put that shit on your page. 300 million people about to see it.
Goodness gracious.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they would do. So the moment that advertising came into play, platforms started to suppress your content. And I prove that. I tell people, go look at Kim Kardashian's page right now and look at her following versus her reels, right? Her reels views or whatever. And it's about maybe 5%. At one point, it was like 1.8%. Because they have to limit your visibility so they can run advertising.
Think of a number in your head. How much do you think it would cost for me, a pretty successful entrepreneur, to coach you every single day, to give you all of the game? I'm talking about every day for an entire year, Monday through Friday. I'm on a virtual call teaching you how I've done the things that I've done, and me updating you every single day in real time on all the business moves that I'm making, all the negotiations that I'm in, everything that I'm doing before I actually do it. How much you think? And let's say Monday through Friday, and then on Thursdays, we do a Q&A where not only do you get a chance to ask your questions and get them answered, but you get to hear the answer from a whole community, hundreds of other people on a call, and you get their answers that are going to help you too. What do you think? And once or twice a year, get together, free conference that we all get to come to, and you get to meet all these people that you see virtually. How much do you think that would cost every single year? 10,000? Not even close. It would probably be closer to 100,000 because it's just, my time is valuable, and to give you the sauce that's going to help you make millions, I'd have to charge you at least 100,000. But what I've done is created a community where you get the advantage of learning how to become an entrepreneur. You get to network with hundreds of entrepreneurs every single day. You got a community that keeps you inspired and excited. You will read a book club with us every single day. We'll also have an event where we come together once or twice a year for free. We do all of that for $399 for the year. Go ask somebody. I've got receipts of things that I built over the last decade, okay? I am willing to coach you. $399 for the year. Listen, go to themorningmeetup.com or click the link in this video. Let's get back to the episode, but keep in mind, I want to coach you. Let's get started.
That's how they make their money.
Got it. And
then they tell you to, so then this is how they trick you. So then they say, well, to get higher in the algorithm, post more content. But by posting more content, all that does is give them more content to run ads in between. So you're giving them space to run more ads to make more money. And they're telling you do that because it'll make the algorithm and you'll get higher. But do they boost the algorithm so that we have that result of posting more? Because you post more if you get more engagement, right? So are they shooting? No, they just nullified all that yesterday. They just proved all that was some BS. They said, oh, we're starting Meta Verified. Did you hear about that? Yeah. Meta Verified. You can buy your blue check now, but it also comes with higher visibility, higher ranking in search.
Yes.
That means your content was never reaching nobody. They was lying to you the whole time.
Right. Okay, I see.
You have to listen to what they're not saying as opposed to what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're telling you like, oh yeah, reach more people and get higher visibility. Fam, if I have 200 million people that want to see me and you're only showing me to 7 million people, you're playing with my money. You're playing with my reach. You're playing with my audience. I have a product to sell. I have a message to get out. You're playing with them. Or why am I here?
So when you buy the verification, are they going to let everyone be verified?
Anybody that pays $11.99 a month, which again is a subscription, and we'll get to subscriptions in a minute.
100%. But I wonder if the paid verification will look different somehow than the celebrity verification.
So I'll say this, probably so. And if so, it's because of Fanbase. So I'm just say this. When I built Fanbase, I said, you know what we need? I told Ramiro, I said, for people that work at Fanbase or really early investors, we need a gold verification badge. So there's the blue, but then we got the gold.
Right.
Like high executives, high level investors, very important people, right? As soon as Elon took over Twitter, if you go to Twitter right now, all the Twitter accounts have gold verification checks now. And all they're going to do is get everybody, what they're going to do is they're going to let everybody use Meta Verified and they're going to switch that check. They're going to switch the color and add another level.
Really? Hold on. On Twitter, there's gold verification.
Go to Twitter right now. Just go to Twitter and then start and type in the search and start Twitter. And all the official Twitter accounts will have gold verification badges.
Well, the only person I really follow, I do follow Elon. So he
won't. He doesn't have one.
And I only follow a few people because it started getting too crazy, and I got kids. And if you go on Twitter, if somebody likes something like I'm talking about, it's porn on that joint.
It's inundated with porn. I don't know how it stays on the App Store.
Yeah, I only follow 6 people, bro. People that I know ain't looking at that.
No, but just take a look at this. Look at these accounts. So see Twitter. See how it has a gold check mark?
Oh,
right.
Gold check.
Right.
Michael Jackson blue check.
Yeah, but I mean for official accounts, right? Now let me show you. So on Fanbase,
Michael Jackson blue. You got it.
So on Fanbase, when you search for users, I've always had that. Yeah, I've had that since like 2018, 2019.
And that's for people that were on early.
Yeah, or people that work for the company. So you know, like, oh, this is an employee, like a high-level executive of Fanbase. So Rama, who's my CTO, the official Fanbase page, Dre works for Fanbase. So you'll know, okay, those are people like, okay, I know who that is.
Gotcha. All right, so, dang, that's crazy. 200, this is my question before I find out what you did with the 200,000. What makes Fanbase different in terms of social responsibility? Because you were saying they make all this money and they don't bring it back to the hood. What makes Fanbase different? Because
we don't run ads. So it's not based on advertising.
At all?
It's based on rev share. No, it's a rev share model. Meaning you can have followers and subscribers on the exact same page, which is why when Instagram started doing subscriptions, we knew that was a big sign because remember, I told you Apple would not let me build what I wanted to build at first. Me and Ramiro went, and this is a great, this shows you how great a CTO Ramiro is. We said, okay, I spent all this money, and Apple says, I said, we want to build an app where people can subscribe to people, but like use like the fingerprint or the face scan and then just charge. And they were like, no, you can't do that. And we were like, why? And they said, well, we have this thing called a subscription profile. That means every time you subscribe to a product like Spotify or Tidal, on the back end, we have this thing, a profile for you. They said, we're not going to let you build an app that you could have a user subscribe to 100 people, and then you want it with 100 million users, and we got to keep up with billions of subscription profiles. And I was like, we're screwed. I said, I spent all this money to do this. We ain't gonna be able to do it. And Ramil was like, no. He goes, listen to what they're saying. He goes, that means you're about to do something that hasn't been done before. He says, follow their rules. So we're not going to break them, but we're going to bend them. So the initial prototype of Fanbase was you could subscribe to one person. That's a profile. You could subscribe to 3 people. That's a profile. Or you could subscribe to 5 people. That's a profile. And they said, okay, you can do that. And we built that. And then we heard Instagram was doing subscriptions, and we hit Apple, and it was like, wait a minute. And they were like, oh yeah, you should reach out to subscriptions. We've had a change of heart of the way we view subscriptions.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, word, wow.
Oh, word.
Cool. But we did it. So we transitioned, and so now you can subscribe to as many people as you want. Like they created SKUs, like they changed the model of subscriptions and let you create SKUs with price points, and you can have as many, a certain number of price points and subscribe to as many people as you want to. So I was like, oh, we did that. We were the first app to do it.
So they're following you.
They have to though. But I'm not worried because it's a big world out here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And again, them kids are not coming to Instagram.
Yeah. I be on my Fanbase too, man. I get a notification from you every day because you be like, there'd be a particular topic.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Grant Cardone says this. Let's talk about it. I'm like, okay, I see what's going on here.
So my goal for Fanbase is like subscription is going to change the world, right? It's going to really change the way, because it's so much money that people are making, because what social media has built their legacy off of is like fame and clout and notoriety.
100%.
That leads to revenue, right? So it's like, give an exhaustive amount of content, go viral, and then maybe become famous from that. And so much of my experience in the music industry has prepared me for tech, because nothing's more grimier than the music business. So once I got into tech, I was like, oh, this is easy. This is going to be easy. But it reminded me of the mixtape game. It's like, oh, okay, so social media is like mixtapes. You just throw out mixtapes after mixtape, and then the one song they hit, and you get famous and you might become a star. Yeah. That's where social media is right now. And so I was like, okay, but that is a cultural, Black culture behavior as opposed to white culture behavior.
What's the white culture?
White community puts a value on something the moment that they create it, and they charge you for it. They do. There's never, you don't see no country mixtapes, no pop mixtapes, no EDM mixtapes.
Hold on. Garth Brooks ain't make no mixtapes.
And then on top of that, when you look at platforms like Patreon, like check them out, the majority of the creators on there are white that make the most money. And they might have started in 2016, but they're making $198,000 a month off 20,000 people. You see what I'm saying? So I tell people, do you want 1 million followers or do you want $1 million? Because I know people with 13 million followers on TikTok that are broke.
Yeah, 100%.
All it takes is 5,000 people paying you $2.50 a month, right? That gives you $12,500 a month, $150,000 a year. 50,000 people is $125,000 a month, $1.5 million a year. So imagine the average American salary is $47,000 a year. All you need is 5,000 people paying you $2.50 a month. You're making $150,000 a year, more than 97% of Americans. That's the future. And nothing's going to stop that now. Now that we're all connected through mobile devices, there's 7.5 billion people on the planet with a smartphone. Only 222 million people on Netflix. Only 616 million people on music streaming services. But 7.5 billion people being able to subscribe to another 7.5 billion people is going to obliterate the revenue that any of those platforms can make combined.
Wow.
Nothing will beat that.
Listen, if I was going to teach you how to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Like if I had a course teach you how to make $1 million a year positive, you're going to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Of course you would. It's no brainer, right? So in a calendar year, we make 7 figures with the podcast. But there's 21 things that I extracted from that you're going to need to launch your podcast. But I only got time to give you 3 right now. One is you need a distribution platform. The distribution platform is what you upload your podcast to. That platform sends it to Spotify, Apple, Google Play, so that your supporters can actually listen to your podcast. You're also going to need a microphone. You need a really good microphone so it's crispy audio. And 3, you need an income strategy. This is not necessarily a hobby, unless you're going to make it a hobby. But I can teach you how I made the 7 figures with these 21 things. Now, the good news is you don't have to give me 10,000. My ebook is only $37, okay? So listen, go to podcastebook.com and get the 21 things that you need. And I can explain it in detail, all the things that you need, okay? Podcastebook.com. Let's get to the episode. So you're saying you don't run ads, but that doesn't necessarily ruin the experience. It seems like at some point Fanbase will run ads.
But here's the thing. If I run ads, I have to compete with you. Where's the value? As soon as I start running ads, I'm in competition with you. Okay. Why would they run ads with me? They were like, oh, I can just run ads on one of the famous people on Fanbase. There are other things that we can do. I just wanted something free that people could say, look, I can start my web series like Awkward Black Girl and take it all the way to Insecure on Fanbase from the very beginning. So it can start out with, we had 100 subscribers. In season 2, we got 5,000 subscribers. In season 3, we got 300,000 subscribers. Now we done went and bought a little studio and we got a set and I can pay, we got cameras and everything. We done blown this thing up now. And it just keeps going. When I tell people the amount of money that's going to be made, right? And I can hypothesize, right? And show you like, The Rock has, I think it's like 360 million followers on social media, right? But that's not his fan base. Think about this. 5% of the people that follow you are your fan base. The other 95% of people that follow you passively, like a magazine at a grocery store. They're nosy or they're haters, right? The other 5% is your fan base. Because if that was the case, every time Beyonce drop an album, she sell 200 million copies. Yeah. No, she ain't selling 200 million copies. It's like she's got, the Beehive is like 14 million people worldwide. They go see your shows, buy her products and stuff like that. So The Rock has about 18,500,000 people, right? That follow him on, that are his fan base of that 360, right? Yeah. So let's hypothesize real quick to say.
Brother, you know these numbers. Like, give him a round of applause. You know these numbers. I'll tell you. Them stats, being smart about your business. Golly, this is impressive.
So let's hypothesize that The Rock says, I'm going to charge $14.99 a month to subscribe directly to me on Fanbase for content, me working out, stuff that I'm working on with my movies, whatever. And he takes half that revenue. Apple and Google take 30%. We take 20 and give 50 to the user. That's right in line with YouTube. YouTube Shorts actually takes 55% of the revenue. You get 45. Twitch is 50-50. And TikTok pays about 2 to 4 cents per 1,000 views. Okay. So let's just say he'd make $77.50 a subscriber, right? So we'll just take that number. This is what he would make a month.
138 million.
Right. And this is what he would make a year.
1.6 billion.
And what I'm saying is, no matter what any of us do, that is about to happen. Because there's nothing. What's always so crazy about this is, social media is a psychological masterclass on behavior patterns, right? Because I've been studying this for years, right? And this is what I mean. Is anybody familiar with OnlyFans? Everybody familiar with OnlyFans? Okay.
No, I'm married, brother.
It doesn't matter. It's still market research.
Never heard of it.
It's still market research. But let me explain something to you. The very first time that I saw OnlyFans, I was like, yo, the strip club industry is dead. It's over. It's finished. You're telling me as a stripper that I don't have to stay up till 4 a.m. in a smoke-filled club with strange men grabbing all over my body, and I might walk out of there with $1,200 when I can sit in my house and make 1,000 times the money and never see anybody. But yet, today, women are getting up right now to get ready to go to the strip club and strip. Because it's just what they know.
Yeah.
But there are a few women that I know that left and did OnlyFans, and they're millionaires. They're like, oh yeah, I'm out of here. They're gone. They're making millions on OnlyFans. Because the world is your store.
Yeah.
There's nothing that stops, and I'll just show you so you see. There's nothing that stops, there's nothing that can stop this. Let me show you what I mean by nothing's gonna stop this. You see this user right here? So she has a page, right? So I want you to see how fast.
Show the camera. Show that camera right there.
I'll see if you guys can see it, but
this one right here.
Let me turn my brightness down a little bit. But let me go back. So if you see this, right, to subscribe to a user, I hit that button, and then I hit this button again, and then boom, a thing comes up, and I subscribe to that user for $4.99 a month or whatever. That's it. That's everybody on the planet. So the ability for everybody on the planet to receive revenue that fast. So when Taylor Swift sells 2 million tickets in an hour on Ticketmaster, she can have 2 million subscribers in an hour that pay her month over month. No one's ever gone really viral. But my point is, it keeps happening, and I'd be like, y'all don't get this? Like when Bad Baby said she made $50 million on OnlyFans in a year, y'all didn't just drop what y'all were doing and be like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, if we can do that, and she made that money, that's real money that she made.
Yeah.
That's more money than Cardi, Lotto, Nicki, Megan, Doja. And the first thing that I did is went to her OnlyFans to subscribe. Real talk.
How was it?
It was 160. No, listen. It was 160 pieces of content. She was in primarily bikinis and lingerie, and no video was longer than 10 seconds. Of 160 pieces of content, she made $50 million. And I had this conversation, and I'll say this to anybody that's listening right now that hears this. If you do not start monetizing your content via subscription today, 5 years from now, you're going to be out-earned by someone that is less talented than you are that simply decided to do so. It is not about the talent. It's about simply doing it. I've sat with comedians. I'm not going to name the names, but I've sat with comedians that are doing shows, $30 ticket shows in Atlanta Comedy Theater, and I show them this comedian named Tim Dillon who has a podcast, and Tim Dillon's making like $212,000 a month of like 30,000 people. And they're like, I'm funnier than Tim Dillon. Yeah, but he's bringing in $2.4 million a year, and you don't even know who he is because he's doing it off subscription. You're driving city to city in a van. He's shooting comedy specials and streaming them, and the audience, the money comes to him. He didn't have to leave.
Oh my gosh. I'm launching a Patreon this month.
You shouldn't.
No?
No, you should launch a fan base.
I'm on Fanbase.
No, but you should utilize, what I mean by that is, you should see, Patreon is not a social network. It's a content house. Once you go to Patreon and see your content, what else is there to do on Patreon?
Nothing.
Exactly. But people can come to subscribe to your content on Fanbase or be there for somebody else and discover you and then subscribe to you there. So it's the best of both worlds. It's the audience you bring and the audience that happens upon you.
Well, obviously, Instagram stole that from you. They have subscribers, but it's only like your stories, I suppose. Or now you could do.
No, you can post.
Too. Yeah.
But again, what difference does it make if your content's not being seen by everybody? We don't suppress content. Meaning, if you have 100 million followers on Fanbase and you post a piece of content, we're putting it on 100 million people's timelines. They might not see it all at the same time. They might see it like within a week, but we're not suppressing your content to run ads. That's the advantage.
Got it. Okay. Dang, that's brilliant. You're smart, man.
I try to be.
So do you have a Fanbase subscription where people can subscribe to you?
Yeah, but I don't really use it.
It's not like you don't promote it like that.
No, it's not. I'm too busy working on the company. I'm thinking of things to do.
Yeah.
Something that I can do. We're about to launch variable pricing because one of the mistakes that I did make in building the company is not giving the choice of user to pick a price. Everybody would ask that, can I choose my price? And I'm like, because the data shows that the most successful people on subscription-based platforms are people that charge no more than $4.99 a month. They're the ones that make all the money. You know what I'm saying? But
let me look at my Fanbase real quick. Let me just log in right quick.
A subscription on Fanbase is $4.99, but we're creating 8 price points that users can choose. And we're launching that probably in the next 2 weeks. So you can charge $2.99, $4.99, $9.99, $14.99, $19.99, $24.99, $49.99, and $99.99 a month. And you wind up with 50% of that revenue.
I actually have 9 followers on Fanbase.
See if you have any money.
I'm only following you and Bistro.
Hit your notification bell at the bottom.
Notification bell.
And hit revenue.
No, I don't have any revenue.
Let me see.
However,
wait, scroll down, swipe it down.
Somebody just they mentioned me. They mentioned me 6 weeks ago. VSG Entertainment. They mentioned me on Instagram.
VSG, yeah.
Oh wow.
That one post that I did on their page went by.
I ain't got no money, bro.
No, swipe down, pull down. The other way. Swipe down, pull it down. I'm pretty sure you do.
Where would I have money from?
So let me show you something.
You about to give me some? Pull out your phone.
So let me show.
I know the owner. Give me some.
So let me show you something. So what's your page on Fanbase?
My page is Social Proof.
Okay. So there's another thing that we have on Fanbase called Love. So you can like posts and you can love posts. When you like a post on Fanbase, it's free. When you love it, you give the user half a penny. And you can love any post on Fanbase as much as you want on any vertical.
Hold on. I can love a post for free.
Like a post for free.
Like a post for free. Love a post for how much?
You're tipping the user half a penny. And you buy the love as virtual currency, like coins on 2K or Call of Duty. Right. So if I want to buy some love, so I have 350,000 loves. So if I say, hey, look, I want to buy 500 loves, I buy the loves from the App Store, I double click, I make the purchase.
Oh, you could just start showing people love.
And then I can show you love, right? So then I go to your page,
That's
right?
Hard.
And then you can love a post as much as you want to. So watch this. I'm about to go.
Hold on, everybody, pull out your phone, download Fanbase, okay? Let's just download it, all right?
So see this post right here? You got a like, right? So when I see that,
yeah.
Okay, but I can love it. Matter of fact, I can do this thing called Big Love. So I can give you 100, 500, or 1,000 loves. But I'm going to hold down on that button, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. I just give you 5,000 loves. Now, go to your account, hit the notification bell, refresh.
I got $25. Give me a round of applause. Wow.
$25. And anything over $25, we pay out the first of every month.
You know what you're doing, because now I want to use Fanbase more.
And that works on live. So those hearts that float up on Instagram that mean absolutely nothing, right? That's love. You make money. You know what I'm saying? So I get on Fanbase and DJ. Like, I'm not a DJ, but I get on there and DJ, but I get love for DJing. It works on stories. So you can love stories. We have audio rooms like Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces, but they're monetized. You can create subscriber-based audio rooms. You can take Social Proof and turn it into a live podcast on audio in Fanbase and make people subscribe to come in.
Oh, wow.
So when you're on, so
that's dope.
So when you're in the audio, when you're in an audio room, they're having a Black History conversation. Black History is excellence, right? So all these people are going to be in here talking.
Okay, so hold on. Show me where I'm at. Where am I going? Where do I go?
Hit the home button.
Hit the home button.
Hit those little speech bubbles at the top.
Speech bubbles. This one?
Speech bubbles at the very top. And those are the audio rooms.
I got to update my joint so I can. Okay.
So see?
So that's them just in there talking. Okay, see?
Yeah.
What that tells me is that there is an inherent greatness amongst.
This is good, man.
Because think about what it takes to just create.
This is good.
And then you can love what people are saying. So see how everybody has a heart next to their name? So if you love what he's saying, just tap on the heart. Just tap on the heart next to the guy.
Power as in
See, I'm giving them money just for talking.
Wow.
And being a multi, I'll show you something you can multitask. So if I say, hey, I want to just listen to the conversation and still enjoy the app, there's the app. The room's right there. So I can still scroll the app, right? And then I say, oh, let me get back in the room and listen. And that's the room.
Dang, that's good.
And then we have our version of TikTok, which short form videos is very, very popular. It's called Flicks. So we have our version of short form video right here. You see, I don't have my Wi-Fi.
I wonder. Okay, so I got 9 followers. This is cool. Yeah. Can y'all follow me on Fanbase? That's social proof. Follow me. All right, so
we have short form video. The reception isn't here good, but just short form video. So just like you can make videos with music and all that kind of stuff.
Show the camera.
Make video with music. Okay. So it's just like kind of like our version of TikTok or Reels. And then there's long form content. Fanbase Plus is where the game changes though.
Okay.
Fanbase Plus is our version of Netflix or YouTube or Twitch or pay-per-view. Okay. Which means you can upload up to 2 hours worth of long form content and put that behind a paywall. So that could be a podcast, a TV show, a reality show. I did Bloomberg. I've done a couple of shows before, so I'll show you what I mean by putting the podcast or interview or anything behind a paywall.
This is so cool, man.
I wish we had. Wait, I wish. What's the Wi-Fi here though? I wish I did it. Wi-Fi. I would show you
some of those questions. But joining us right now is Isaac Hayes III. He's the CEO of a company called Fanbase, which has a little bit of a different spin on the way they do social media. And Isaac, thanks.
So that's like your YouTube. So you can put a movie up there. And the reason why I use The Rock as an example is if The Rock can make $1.6 billion from his subscribers, then he can say, let me take $200 million and shoot my own movie and put it on my Fanbase page. I don't have to deal with Netflix. I don't have to deal with the studio. I get all the money. It separates everybody. See, the thing about it is like the way that subscriptions are going to work is it's going to shift the power dynamic in business, right? Artists can make more money from their subscribers than the record companies pay them, right?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask this question. So you have a lot of celebrities on there.
Yeah, we have a few.
So how do you get them to pull off of where Massa has given them validation and have them come on to?
You don't. And I talk to my team about that all the time. I've even talking about that in an audio room. What I tell them is I fully expect no one, and I said this, nobody that's on Instagram or Facebook is coming to Fanbase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nobody on Instagram and Facebook is coming to Fanbase. That psychological training that I said, it's a relationship. Like that's 12 years.
Slavery.
You've built
12 years a slave on Instagram.
No, but it's not. It's a relationship. It's personal.
That's right.
I've made friends on here. I got memories on here. I put so much time into building this content. Like they're not going anywhere. It's about the younger generation. They're the ones. I keep telling them, I was like, look, there's some rappers out here gonna be mad about 5 years when there's some like 17-year-old rapper that's making $20 million a month off subscribers and be like, what is going on? Because he's connecting directly with his fans in real time. He's making content. He's sharing his life. He's doing all this cool stuff, and nothing's in his way from making that money. They're the ones that are going to inherit the earth. The youth are going to inherit it in a way. And as these jobs disappears, AI comes into play and starts taking everybody's job. Like everybody's job. Like I was playing AI yesterday of Whitney Houston singing a Mariah Carey song.
Then we just listened to that joint. It's crazy.
Yes. I did. So everybody, you familiar with Lenza? Lenza's the app that everybody used at Art Basel that went viral that turns you to those artsy photos.
Oh yeah.
And I said, you know what? I said, I made my little Lenza photos. I said, for those that don't know, my father was a famous musician by the name of Isaac Hayes. I said, let me send some photos of him in there and see what Lenza does to him. And what Lenza did to him blew my mind. What Lenza did to him was it started making photorealistic images of him like he was alive. And when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, we got a problem. Because if Lenza is making photos like this, you would have thought my dad took that photo. AI made that.
Oh, wow. Can I see it?
Yeah. I'm going to turn the brightness up just a little so you can see. AI made that.
That's a real photo. That's a real photo right there.
But AI made that.
Yeah. Damn.
So that lets me know. So that lets me know that the photographer's out of a job, the stylist is out of a job, the editor's out of a job. Like the job is gone. We were talking about that, we were talking yesterday about like, oh, Chef can come back on South Park now. Isaac Hayes can drop a new album. He can be in a Cadillac ad. He can start doing voiceovers again. The AI is going to like, I said 2023 is the year of AI. They turned the faucet on this year. They running it.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody talking about NFTs.
Right.
NFTs and AI.
Gotcha. So you're not trying to entice people to go from their home platform to Facebook.
I would never tell you to leave anyway because you spent
I even
time.
telling people to leave.
No, I'm not telling them to leave. Stay.
Not leave, but
no. What I'm saying is because you built an audience there. Leverage that. That's marketing. That's how you market.
Yeah, because you still leverage.
Yeah,
Instagram.
I'm gonna use Instagram. I'm not gonna stop using any of these platforms. I'm just saying that one of the things that we did do is I built a program. They don't like me for this either, but I had the team build a program that allows you to migrate your entire page over. So it'll copy all of your content from Instagram and paste it over on Fanbase.
What?
Yeah. So you can just move. You can
do that now?
Yeah.
I can do that right now.
Yeah. I did it with
I'll do it right now.
Hold on. I did it with with you though, I'm gonna have the team like do it manually. Mm-hmm. So cause it's a backlog. Like people are always migrating their content. But like DC Young Fly came on the platform like maybe about a couple weeks ago, and I'll show you what I mean.
You're so smart, bro. I would have never thought of this.
When I had,
what the heck?
Hold on. When I had him, I'm trying to find his page, but you'll see certain people's pages, and they would have migrated their entire page over.
Is that inside Fanbase like a feature that you're doing?
Yeah, it's in the settings.
Okay, let me see.
But so see how DC Youngfly has 1,980 posts. He didn't post all that. We moved all that.
Oh.
We just copied it and pasted it over.
Okay. Hold me down.
And now the cool thing about that is now everything that was free on Instagram is now in a place where people can love it and make money off of it.
Yeah.
All his old content is instantly put in a position to be monetized.
I'm updating my profile right now.
So all that content was there. So now you can follow Fanbase subscribers. And that content is instantly monetizable. And this is the one thing that I say about it. Like there is no person. Okay, what makes a person a business?
What makes a person a business?
What makes a business a business?
Oh, what makes a business is legal structure and income.
The ability to receive income.
Yes.
For something that you can sell.
Yes.
That means by default, every single person on Fanbase is a business. There's not a person on Fanbase is not a business. You were just a business. I just gave you $25.
I just made $25.
You see what I'm saying? There's nobody that's on Fanbase that's not a business. Now just decide what you want to sell. The store is open. And 7.5 billion people can shop with you. Instead of you having to be on the corner, it's virtual. It's in real time.
So 200,000, you start getting it going. But then you started raising money.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different thing.
How much you raised?
So far we've raised about 8.5 million. Yeah.
$8.5 million.
Yeah. But I did it a really unique way.
Okay.
A fun way, and I think a very special way. My music industry experience led me to observe that venture capital, for those that don't know, VCs are like, they're the ones that fund startups. Mm-hmm. And startups, I look at VCs as like, they're the record company. And then Fanbase is like the artist. Mm-hmm. So I had a meeting with a VC, and the first thing they asked me was, why would you want to go up against Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook? Like, they were white, and they were like, he's a giant. Like, why would you do that? I said, for one, knowing that I have Ramiro on the team, I said, I can build anything that Facebook can build. They can't build me. They can't build Black culture. Yeah. They need Black culture. That's a fact. If they didn't, it's just a bunch of like pet videos and trees. Like, dead ass. Ain't no dances, ain't no jokes. Doesn't matter. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. So the culture and the tech under one roof, it's like that. So COVID hits, and I said, I'm not raising no money from VCs, but Ramiro's like, man, we got to raise some money. So If you don't, you know who Dawn Dixon is.
Yes, my dog.
So Dawn was the very first woman to raise $1 million in equity crowdfunding. Mm-hmm. She took advantage of a regulation signed into law by Barack Obama and Joe Biden called the Jobs Act. Mm-hmm. And so the Jobs Act was legislation that allowed people to raise capital for their businesses from the general public. Yeah. Here's the biggest scam of all time, ladies and gentlemen. In about 1933, they came up with a term called an accredited investor.
Yes.
That means to protect the general public from squandering their wealth on bad investments.
Or making money.
Yeah, right. Make bad investments. You have to make $200,000 a year for 2 consecutive years or have a net worth of $1 million in 1933. That ain't got nothing to do with color.
Right.
It's classism. It's like right after the Great Depression. Doesn't matter, right? So the IBMs of the world and the Microsofts and the Apples were all funded by already rich people that had the first chance to invest, right? That's a accredited investor. One of the seed investors in Uber is a guy named Orrin Michaels. He put $5,000 into Uber in 2010. $5,000. When the company went public in 2019, how much was this $5,000 worth?
Trillions.
$24 million. You know how many street dudes I know with 5Gs?
Yeah, 100%.
Me and 10 of my friends could have got together, put $500 apiece and walk away with $2.4 million.
Goodness gracious.
But again, it's illegal. But it's not illegal for us to buy $5,000 worth of lottery tickets or go gamble in Vegas and spend $5,000.
Talk about it.
So Barack Obama said, no, we're going to put this law that we're wiping the accredited investor rule out. And you can raise up to $1 million from anybody that wants to invest in your company. They can have stock in it. And so Dawn was the first person to do that. And she taught me the strategy of raising capital. She was another person that helped me. Like in all this, none of this happens without Black people teaching me and sharing information and being willing to share. It doesn't happen without Barry, Justin, Jewel, Angela Benton has a company called Streamlytics, who's the one that made the introduction to Start Engine, and Dawn, who gave me like the game, like this is the strategy, the marketing strategy that you used to raise. I credit all those people for showing me the path to get to where I can do this. And so my initial goal was to raise $1 million. We raised like $1 million in like 3 weeks. And that was pretty fast. Like I did, when I do podcasts and great shows like these, we see spikes in investment. So we raised that relatively quickly, and then the SEC changed the law that you could raise up to $5 million. So we went ahead and raised $3.4 million in our first round, about $2.2 in our second round at a $50 million valuation. Fanbase started at $20 million valuation. We raised the 3.4 there. The second round, the valuation of Fanbase was $50 million, and we raised 2.2. And I just raised another 2.5 million at an $85 million valuation, and I'm not stopping.
So your company is worth $85 million.
Yeah, it's valued at $85 million.
Valued at $85 million.
Right. And so what that does is we have about 13,000 investors, but they all own part of the company. And most of them are young, Black, older, Black.
How man I invest.
Black people. It's not too late.
It's not too late.
No, you can invest today. So because the last round was so successful that we it's called oversubscribed. We had about $600,000 of extra investment. And I said, since this is the last one of these I'm doing, because at some point you have to raise $10-20 million from venture capital.
Yes.
But the difference is now, as the label, I'm the independent artist that sold $8.5 million worth of shares out the trunk of his car. You can't give me the bull.
Yeah.
You can't give me just a basic deal like, here's 25% of your company for $200,000.
Right.
You can't do that. Now it's leverage. And we're proving ourselves in the space as the model that is leading, the subscription revolution in doing so. And so I said, I'm gonna leave the raise open as long as I can legally to let anybody that wants to invest in Fanbase invest.
And how much, what's the minimum investment?
$250 is the minimum to invest.
$250?
Yeah.
Maximum is $5 million.
No, the maximum minimum to invest is $250. The maximum you can invest is $100,000.
$100,000. Okay, got you. Where do you get the valuation of your company from?
So typically it kind of works like real estate and metrics. So you'll take a company like Clubhouse. They raised $10 million at a $70 million valuation. They had 2,500 users and very little technology, but they raised that money. And you have to validate that with the SEC and prove like this is why. You just can't make up an arbitrary number like my company's worth whatever and raise. They're like, nah. So you have to look at like Patreon.
I'm sorry. Clubhouse, they had 2,500 users, valued their company at $70 million.
And raised $10 million.
And raised $10 million.
Right. They raised over $300 something million now. There's another company, there's another app that built their app after our app called Fan House. And I don't even mind promoting it because the app is not good. But it was just surprising that from venture capital, they were able to raise $33 million at a $100 million valuation with hardly any traction at all. So I just said, oh, well, at the time that I raised with Fanbase for at a $20 million valuation, I mean, when I raised $1 million at $20 million, we had like 20,000 users or 10,000 users. We had proven, I had a proof of concept.
Right.
First thing I had to do have a proof of concept, which means I needed to prove that people would subscribe to other people. And what made me understand that it's a younger person's mentality. First time I told one of my friends, I'm not gonna say her name, but she's like in her 30s. And I was like, hey, would you subscribe to like this person for their content? Like, I'm not subscribing to no other person. Like she said it like that. Right. This is before I decided to be a fan. You know the idea and you run about somebody to see what they think about it. You're like, I'm not doing that. So I was in the Apple store and I saw this young girl. She was probably like 18, 19 years old, Latina. I said, can I ask you a question? I said, who's your favorite artist? And I'm thinking she's gonna say somebody like Rihanna or Justin Bieber or Ariana Grande, right? And she named some like very indie, like Latino band. I said, hey. And I have to use this language, so bleep it out if you have to. But I said, hey, if would you subscribe to them for like $4.99 a month? If you could have like videos of them working on their album, behind the scenes footage, and maybe every now and then you have early access to buy tickets to one of their shows. She goes, yeah, it's only $4.99 and walks off. I was like, oh, I got to build this thing because they get it. They're not thinking about it. Like my little brother's 16 years old. He doesn't know paper money.
Right.
He knows what he can buy off StockX through his step card. You know what I mean? He knows Cash App. He knows that. Yeah. He doesn't know getting in a car and waiting in line. And he goes, it's on StockX. I hit the button. The money goes out. It comes to my house. That's why virtual spending, virtual currency increases virtual spending.
Man.
And with subscriptions, you don't it's the bite you don't feel. It's the $4.99 you never feel leave your account every month. You're not even thinking about it.
That's a fact. Yo, it's so interesting. I was in the car and I have like some change in my little cup holder. And I went to the car wash, like wash out my car, and I'm like cleaning around the change, and I started thinking to myself, what am I gonna do with this?
Yeah.
It was like a moment for me, like cash and especially coins. Like, what am I supposed to do with these coins, right? So virtual spending is not like you have to even think about, like you can't see how much you got left.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You just spend it.
We used to have like $20 you spend it, you're like, I only got 20. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna get 12 back. What else am I gonna do?
You doing math in your head.
Yeah.
You don't do that when you spend virtually.
Because you don't see it.
You're not paying attention. You're like, oh, I want it.
Right.
It's impulse. It's an impulse purchase. And those and like an impulse purchase social media platform that allows people to subscribe is limitless.
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna revolutionize. And I say this is going to happen. So I sound like the guy in the disaster movie that's like, winter is coming or whatever. Yeah. Like this is the future.
That's kind of dope too, because you don't have to have a big following to create a subscription, because there's gonna be somebody that likes what you do.
And that's our motto. Everyone has a fan base. Might be 15 people, might be 1,500 people. But it's something that you can build and scale. You have time to increase. Okay, I got 15 people. What can I do to get 30 people? You can start to build upon it and grow and scale and work at that. And again, it's a psychological barrier. Like there's so many people that are not like, I was in a room of users on Fanbase and they were like, well, what can we do to get more people over? And I was like, guys, they're not coming. There's only three types of people that are on Fanbase right now. Early investors, right? People that want to support a Black founded startup, and people that like to try new things. Everybody else ain't leaving. I don't expect them to leave. But what I do expect is the younger generation, 18, 19, 20, who will switch apps. Like these kids now change their username every day. They'll wipe their profile clean.
Really?
Yeah, they're not attached because it's about the content of them. It's not about building memories. It's not it's not about that.
Or building a brand that people
But just, I mean, when you on Facebook, you still got college photos on your Facebook page.
100%.
Right. These kids don't care about that. They'll wipe the page clean, change the name, delete the page, start over. It's about, they just want to see cool stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I actually wanted to change my Instagram name. There was a lady, maybe you can't say this, but I was going to change my name. Because I don't like really build my t-shirt brand, Sleep is for Suckers anymore, but I'm like so afraid of like some sort of disconnect because all of my, like all the podcast has my Instagram name and you know, people are used to it. I'm afraid. What do you think?
Hold on to it. What do you want to change it to?
My name.
Well, I mean.
Something more like my name.
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing with that brand though? Do you want to do anything with it?
Not really.
Then just change it to your name.
So much.
See?
Content out in the world.
Hard to let go.
I'm a slave, brother.
Stuck. I don't expect people, but again, I don't worry about that. Like that's the thing about it. Like that's why I think he asked the question like, you know, how do you stay grounded? And I tell people all the time, like, you have to look at human beings. I don't get offended by the decisions that people make. I don't take it personal because we're binary people. It makes us who we are. For every decision that I make, someone's going to disagree with you. It has to be that way. Yeah. I was in a room. I was talking to DJ Vaughn, who's Lotto's DJ yesterday. We were having a conversation. They get it. But I was like, what is the scientific equivalent of hate? What is hate? Like, what's a hater? Someone that stops you from trying to do what you're trying to do.
Yes.
It's a force against you, right?
Yes.
So gravity is hate.
That's a fact.
If we didn't have gravity, we'd be just like jello blobs floating around. We wouldn't have muscles. We wouldn't have all these things that make us strong because we wouldn't have a need for them. So you need hate. You need people hating on you. You need something pushing against you to make you stronger. You have to have it. It's a necessity. It's the yin and the yang. It's important.
That's a clip. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's important. It just makes it what it is. It's like it's the force opposing against you that makes you stronger. Without it, it's like you just walk out into traffic, get hit by cars, stick your hand in fire and burn, and it has to be something against it. So when people are like, oh, I don't like Fanbase and I'm not using it, I'm not jumping there and like, I'm like, that decision has to be made. People have to have the freedom of choice. So I don't take it personal. I'm out of that. Like again, I said, I hate to say that I'm not an emotional person. I just lead with logic.
Yeah.
I'd rather lead with logic than emotion. It helps my decision making.
But I mean, you do have to be thinking of like, how can I'm sure some influencers hit you like, yo, bro, I'll be the brand ambassador. Cut me in.
Yeah.
You got any like that?
We do, but there's a couple things that make sense about that and don't make sense about that. One, we're far past the era of spokesmanship. It's over.
Is it?
Spokesmanship is dead. Influence over spokesmanship. Meaning like the person that slaps their name on the product never sells.
You're right. It used to be if Jay-Z wore your t-shirt, you're an instant millionaire.
Here's the crazy part. This is so funny. In like 2006, 2007, Jay-Z said, we off that Chris, we own that Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
I guarantee it was 10 years before people even knew he owned the company. He just sold it. Like $250 million. I seen studios with gold bottles everywhere. Yeah. Y'all don't even know he owned it. If he told you he owned it, y'all wouldn't have bought it.
100%.
It's not as good. It's not Cristal.
Yeah.
No. He influenced you to buy that.
Yeah.
He said, I'm rich, famous. This is the premium champagne that I drink. And then everybody went and bought it. And it's like, I owned the company the whole time. That's influence. Spokesmanship, people gonna hate on that. So that's why I'm not really into spokesmanship. I'm into influence.
Right. But how would you structure a deal? I'm asking for a friend.
I mean, equity is always a conversation, but this is what tends to happen with equity. People aren't realistic about what equity is worth, the value, right? People are like, oh yeah, I'll do it. I want 5% of the company. I'm like, fam, I know Fanbase is a $100 billion company. I'm not giving you 5% of anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I think at max, LeBron made like $35 million off the Beats deal. Cool. We can do that. we can work out where when we exit an IPO and or whatever the eventuality of what happens with the company, you can do that. But 5% of $100 billion is?
Yeah.
You know, and I put that value like, you think Fanbase? I was like, at one point, Facebook had a market cap of $900 billion. ByteDance is a privately held company. They're valued at like $400 billion. They're privately held. I said, oh yeah, Fanbase. If that's the case, with monetization, the way Fanbase is easily a $100 billion company.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by holding on to it before. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I could sell or it could get sold, but what I'm saying is my intent is to never sell until I'm at maximum value. Got
you. So have you done some deals with people that make sense in terms of, and here's the other part, have they continued to promote? Because everybody's excited in the front when you first do the deal.
No, and I really haven't asked people to do that because the money's there for you. You're leaving it on the table anyway.
Yeah.
I told you, if you're not monetizing your content today right now, you're just you're losing money. Every single day, every single person, you're losing money right now. You're losing money right now by not monetizing. I mean, you're monetizing somewhere, but if you're not making that, you know, and what happens with you know, celebrities is one, they want to look cool. They don't want to look lame. They don't want to be the first person to the party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're already making so much money, they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Which is why someone like Bad Baby can leapfrog and make $50 million while y'all think it's just that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's going to be like little kids walking around here worth $100 million. And you be like, yo, what? Wait, how did he do that? Like, what happened?
Fanbase.
He's like, yo, I got 10 million subscribers on Fanbase. What you talking about? What are you talking about? Like,
that's
y'all over here posting your content for free? For views and likes to get people to just buy tickets to your show? I stream all my concerts on Fanbase. What are you talking about?
I love it. Okay, listen, if you're watching this, make sure you download Fanbase. I don't have no equity yet, but I'm just doing a genuine conversation. Download it because especially I can migrate all my stuff over there.
Go to startengine.com /Fanbase and invest in Fanbase today.
Got you.
Minimum is $250. The price.
I'm going to invest. I'm going to invest.
Yeah. And I think because here's the eventuality of that, right? And why I said this, when I said raising capital is going to be very special and important. When we IPO or when we exit, it won't be the Orrin Michaels. It'll be the people that believed, that put $250 in, that potentially could turn to $1.5 million because of the valuation of the company. Yeah. And I'll be standing in a room with 13,000 mostly African-American people that are all multimillionaires. It'll probably be the largest distribution of wealth to black people in America was when Bob Johnson sold BET. He made more millionaires when he sold BET than anybody ever. I want to obliterate that. I want to make 13,000 multimillionaires.
Ooh, we clap that up for that.
Yeah.
All right, look, I'm gonna invest. All right, so K, let's invest real quick, okay? Let's do here. Come to you can do it on your phone. What you got to put in? What information is needed?
You have to build a profile, but it's like it allows you. And mind you, I'm invested in other startups. The cool thing about equity crowdfunding is it allows us to fund our businesses through ourselves and then lift them up. So my boy Charles Alexander, these guys out of Chicago, they're called the Black Bread Company. They're the only black-owned bread company in
Yes, I saw them. Yeah.
I invested in that through Start. I got them on Start Engine. I referred them to Start Engine and invested. Nice. Don Cannon with Tomorrow App, I invested. I'm invested in Dawn's company. I'm invested in Popcom.
I'm invested in Dawn's company.
I'm invested in Streamlytics. I'm invested in, what's the other one I'm invested in? I'm invested in Crown and Hops. My girl Benny Ashburn, it's a black-owned brewery. I invested in their company. Sienna Sauce. There's a young girl out of Houston that makes this sauce called Sienna Sauce.
What you be investing like? Huh? Like what levels you be coming in?
I put like $1,000. I mean, but at early stages like that, that's all you do is put $1,000, $1,500, $2,500 in.
Gotcha.
You don't have to go crazy.
All right, just pull up a chair real quick. We're gonna set up our profile. And I think if I invest now, then my users viewers will also invest here. Take my card. We're gonna invest 5,000. Give me a round of applause. 5,000.
There you go.
Because I'm gonna be a multi-drillionaire. Okay, and I'm not gonna have to do no podcast. Okay,
but you know what? Like when I came in here and looked at this facility, like this is exactly what, like, we're going to build it. We're going to need these. I was like, this is exactly like, because I have a podcast room at the office, but it's like content creation is going to be like, it's needed. There's so much content that's going to be made. I was like, because this is, how long ago did you build this? Last time I came here, you were in another space.
Yeah. So I got the building in 2020, October 2020, and we actually opened and started operating October 2022. So it took 2 years, but it was literally, it was no walls. It was 4 walls and a dirt floor.
Yeah. And I was here like, oh, he been in here working. Like he been working. But
everything you see.
But it's like, this is exactly like, I'm in here peeping y'all stuff. I'm in here looking right now like,
we got you.
You know
what's the investment link? What is it?
Startengine.com/fanbase.
Start Engine. I think I might have a Start Engine because I think I invested
if you do, then you already have an account.
Start Engine. I think, because I wonder if Dawn's, I invested in something. Let me see. Let me see if I have an account already. Start. I have to have a, I do have a Start, because I got some emails from it.
So
Start Engine.
So the terms are, and I like to tell people what the terms are so people know of the investment.
Okay, see if I got to start in under my info account. Hold on, let me try it. Yeah, I think y'all gonna invest? Throw a couple dollars in there?
Here's the thing. So I'm gonna show, and I'm gonna tell you what's about to happen. So the goal was to raise 2.5 million, and we oversubscribed. I increased the limit to 2.698 million, and we're at 2.667.
Congrats.
But like I said, like if you can't invest, if there's not time, join the wait list, because if the round opens up again, which I can't say, but I'm going to accept those dollars.
Okay.
And so I'm going to keep accepting those dollars because I just want as many people to invest in the platform that possibly can.
Okay, I don't think I have a Start Engine. So, well, just see. If not, we'll do another account. This is a pleasure, man.
I've been wanting to do this show because I like you.
Thanks, man.
I just, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I know that you have an audience, and it's like, it's smart, and I've been wanting to do this. I said, I knew when I came here, I said, this is going to be one of the best. I think this is one of the best podcasts I've done.
Wow. Thank you.
Give
us a round of applause, man. Awesome.
There's just so much happening right now. And I'm just like, I'm observing there's a lot going on at the company, and I just see like all these changes. Again, it's like, I don't consider it a fight, because we don't know the lifespan of a social network.
Yeah.
Next year, Facebook's gonna be 20 years old. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah, and it always changes. Always a new one. And this was maybe a few years ago. I was telling somebody that there's always like the early adopters on a platform are the ones who are the celebrities. So there were a million people like your Desi Bankses and stuff like that that came from Vine who didn't have a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
You go to another platform early enough and you become one of those guys.
The Tequilas. I call them. MySpace had Tila Tequila. Like, and this is another reason why I say don't leave. We are cheat on your apps. People be faithful to apps for no reason. People be faithful to the gram or faithful to Facebook, right? Yeah. But if DJ Khaled doesn't cheat on MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, he doesn't meet Snapchat, which is the love of his life, and it 100%. Changed his life.
Yeah.
People just say, I'm going to stay on Instagram.
Yeah.
No. Him getting stuck on that jet ski on Snapchat changed his life. Yeah. Because he just went over there. It changed, and it was young people. He tapped into a whole young audience of people. That is his, like, God, I mean, we talking about Jordan deals, on tour, hit records, everything. You have to do that because you never know try them all, because you never know where you're going to find your success. You don't know what you're going to be successful.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact.
You never know where you're going to pop off at.
Because it's happening right now.
It happens all the time, man.
It's going down. Listen, man, make sure y'all set up y'all fan base, subscribe. Oh, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
In conclusion, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Or what do you see yourself accomplishing? Because I want to watch this 5 years from today and be able to say, yo, Isaac sat with me. He said he was going to do it 5 years ago, and look, it happened.
I mean, I just want to be. I want to change the world. Like I want to disrupt the world. I really want people to be able to monetize and like make money. Like the world is about to get crazy and cruel. And I'm telling you, when I seen that tow truck pick up that car, the little flat robot, and I was like, oh, they out of a job. And the 24-hour McDonald's or the automated McDonald's and I seen the have you seen the paint robots that are painting houses in like 10 minutes? Like they're just going up and down the house real quick, like they're painting rooms, perfect lines. I'm like, yo, folks finna be out of a job. Like for real. Like jobs finna be gone. And so people are gonna have a way to make money. You know what I'm saying? And we have to start monetizing our content and not giving it away. Put a value on your content. If me and you were to start a bakery today, this is how delusional giving away content for free sounds, right? If me and you were to start a bakery today, and we're gonna give away muffins for free until Tyler Perry walk in there one day and eat our muffin, or Keith Lee walk in there and be like, "This is the greatest muffin ever. You need to go shop there." We go out of business.
Yeah,
we have to sell muffins. Yeah, from the moment we bake it, sell it.
100%.
So when you make content, you got to sell it. Everybody's not gonna buy it. Doesn't matter. It's the fan base of people that do, the people that do support you that will, and you can scale that business. You can't give away content for free. Everybody's programmed because everybody's looking for fame. They're looking for views and likes and attention and that dopamine. And this is all psychological. Like that's what I'm saying. Social media is psychology. Yeah. It's psychology and monetization. It's just how to do that. So we just got to take advantage. Like we have to take advantage. I want to be disruptive. I want to, like I said, I want to create opportunities for people to have wealth and, because I just feel like it aggravates me to the end that, platforms like Clubhouse are valued at $4 billion. And I'm one of the people, Fadia Cater's one of the people that popped that thing off. Mm-hmm. And when the community said, hey, we're one of the first million users on this platform, can we invest? And they said no. And then raised $100 million at $1 billion valuation. And that's the day that I said we're building audio and Fanbase. And we built it. Because what's Clubhouse doing?
Not a thing.
WAC 100 bringing them all the views they want every day. He over there arguing with people and
are they still lit over there?
I mean, there's a small community. It's not. It's falling way off. Yeah. But there's still people over there that live and breathe by that. Sit over there and listen to Grant Cardone. Just hang on every word. I'm like, what y'all doing? Like, we the sauce. We make it pop. Like wherever we go. And that's the thing that's the nugget that I try to give people. Let's hypothesize for a moment that we know for a fact that Black culture powers social media.
Yes.
It gives it its value.
100%.
Okay, so suppose someone built an app and allowed anybody to invest, including Black culture, and then we all buy shares in it, then move over there and then pump the valuation of the company up by just simply using it.
Other cultures do it all the time, don't it?
Wouldn't that be crazy? We take a company and we could take a company and turn it to $1 billion company in a week. Just buy shares first. Just buy some shares and I'm over there now and then whoop, it's up. I don't know though. I mean, just a thought.
Yeah, okay. So
just something to do.
Are we in there? Is it up now? Can we invest now?
Yeah, you can invest now. Yeah.
What is it?
Startengine.com/fanbase.
Startengine.com. You see it? Okay, so we got a password. Okay, I'm about to do it right now, so y'all know I'm in here. I don't see a password. I don't think I have a. Oh, there I do. There I go.
I want to, but you know what it is? I want to work. I want to work with you though. Oh, because long form content, like we're getting because Fanbase Plus, granted, it is a platform that anybody can monetize their content. Mm-hmm. Fanbase Plus is going to start making its own content like Netflix too. That's the thing about it. It's inside, so it's like because it's like. You can DM a podcast, DM a reality show, DM something, but it's all in there. And my friends are in there, and I'm making money, and we talking, and it's live, and it's all these, these goodies together. Yeah. So, but we're gonna need content. We've been having like lots of conversations about original content, but yeah, people make Patreons, and I'm like the same thing you can do on Patreon, you can do on Fanbase. Yeah. So I would say start it over there. It doesn't matter. Like Drink Champs just got on Fanbase, so they made a page. DJ EFN made a page. Nice. So people are starting, but. It takes a process. To answer your question about how long it takes to build a social network, it just happens when it happens. Yeah. Virality is that. You never know.
Yeah.
Everybody has that moment though that they pop off and they go crazy, right? Everybody had it. Every platform had that. Every platform was just lying and something happened and it blew up.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson passed away and it was like everybody got on Twitter
and
it just went super, super viral. Snoop was very instrumental in blowing up Instagram, but every platform has that and you never know when it's going to happen. You just have to remain consistent.
Yeah.
And then so preparation and opportunity that's the equation for success. So it's when preparation meets opportunity.
Love it. I love it. Yeah, so let's definitely talk about it. Let's go to lunch or something because I think better when I eat. But thank you so much, man. I really appreciate this conversation. You've opened up my mind. I'm sure everybody here appreciates it as well. And we're just going to keep building. So if you let everybody know how they can, again, one more time, startengine.com/fanbase, right? Let everybody know how they can contact you, how they can connect you, and then close us out with a word of wisdom.
So, I mean, I'm Fanbase. I'm on Fanbase. I'm at IsaacH3 on all socials, so Twitter, Instagram, Fanbase. Those are probably my primary ones. Wisdom,
you just did it for 90 minutes. Bro. You got something.
No, yeah, I know. I think I said them all. Like I think I said everything I know. I think I said everything I got. I mean, for people that this is one thing that I say, you do have to like start your vision. Like you can't be afraid to try and start something, especially entrepreneurship, right? It's a very scary place. But you learn to live with the ups and downs and be comfortable, but you'll never know if you never try. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just have to, consistency is what I say, so you have to keep going. Nothing ever fails if you don't stop. Yeah. Stopping is when it fails. If you don't stop, it's gonna work eventually. And there's so many companies that did that. Like Nike was founded in like 1963 or something, something. It's called Blue Ribbon something. Then they changed the name to Nike in 1971. Then they didn't get popping until 80. And then 84 is when they really got popping with Jordan. Yeah. Or the McDonald's brothers or, it's just you have to continue to try. It's like you never know. It's going to work when it works. Yeah, that's a fact. And people are going to tell you it's not going to work. People are like, oh, it's going to work and all that. But again, that's necessary. Yeah. You need that.
I love that. Listen, man, there's no way we can close it out any better than that, man. Thank you so much. Make sure y'all invest in Fanbase, okay? Invest, Donni, okay? Donnie's going to invest as well. Make sure y'all support our culture, our community, and not even supporting it because it's black, but support it because it's dope. And I'm really excited about building an influence over there, right? Because it's easier to, how many people are on Instagram?
Instagram has 1 billion monthly active users.
1 billion monthly active users. They'll never see me. But really, if I can get a room of 5 or 10 people that can listen to me, and as the platform grows, those 5 or 10 go into 100, and I become the man on that particular platform. So yes, I'm rocking with Fanbase.
Plant your flag, man.
Yeah, man.
Take all this sauce over there. Take all this information over there.
We're gonna take sauce to Fanbase. Yeah. I'm on it. Let's go. All right, man. Make sure y'all follow, support. Do yourself a favor. Go get you some social proof, meaning go build something, document how you did it. But I want you to come back to our community and teach our community how you did what you did. It's the only way our community grows, okay? We out of here. Peace. If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.
What does this really mean? So everybody moving into the podcast, like even at InvestFest, went into the, the vendor room. And I seen no radio presence, no streets.
And that's odd for you.
Very odd, because you go to car shows, you see those. You got to stop by Hot 107.9. Yeah. You got to stop by the streets and talk to Ferrari and them. You got to go to V103.